Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 32 of Cute Little Love Letters, and this one is titled Courage Immeasurable. Do you want to have a passiflora tea and talk? Your mum offered. We can sit wherever you feel your soul is nourished most. You nodded into her. Yes, please, you said sadly. There's just so much going on at the moment, and I don't know how to make heads or tails of everything. Life has a way of creating perfect storms, your mum said knowingly, as she pulled back and patted you on the head. I'll make some tea. Where would you like to sit? Can we go right up to the top of the tree? You asked. Up on the highest branch? Yes, of course, your mum said with a gentle smile and a head nod. You head up there and take a few deep breaths, and I'll be up soon with the tea. Thanks, Mum, you said with a sigh, as you turned and headed for the side stairs that led up to the top of the tree. Up the narrow oaky steps you walked, your mind running around to collect and collate all of the information that you needed for the debrief with your mum. I mostly want to talk to her about Dad, but also about how Alex reacted to me mentioning Faerie, you thought, as you put one foot in front of the other. But I also want to talk about Denki and how I don't really know what to be doing or how I should act, you wondered. And also my assignment, what do I do about that? You sighed as you got to the top of the stairs and stepped out onto the large flat branch, the smaller branches curling up to almost cover the large branch as you walked to the end of it and sat down on the cushions there, looking out over the vast forest beyond. The sun was on its way down to the earth, and the colours in the sky momentarily stole your thoughts as you sat there staring into the oranges, pinks and violets. You allowed your eyes to travel higher, and you spotted the northern star, the first star to appear in the night sky, and you watched it twinkle at you. Maybe if I moved out there it would be more peaceful, only stars around me in the darkness, you thought. But I would miss you, and so would your friends, your mum said from behind you as she walked up with the tea in her hands. You looked back at her with surprise since you hadn't said your thoughts out loud. How did you know what I was thinking? You asked as she walked over and sat beside you. I could see the longing look in your eye, and I could feel your need for escape, your mum said. You were looking at the stars so intensely I thought you wanted to go there. Well, yeah, I do, you replied honestly. There's so much going on in my life and I don't know what to do, so running away from it would be easier. When you run, your mum said as she placed the cup of tea in the palm of your hands, your body creates a vacuum that pulls air along behind you, yes? You nodded. Yes, you replied curiously. Although you might feel like running away now is going to free you from your burdens, they will eventually catch up in the vacuum that comes behind you when you stop, your mum said wisely. Better to walk at a steady pace. You sighed. I guess, you said sadly. What is weighing on your heart, my love? Your mum asked gently. Tears welled in your eyes. Everything, you said in a wobbly voice. Your mum waited patiently, placing one hand on your knee to let you know that she was there when you were ready. Dad told me, you said in a shaky voice. I didn't know about our race until just recently, and then all of a sudden I knew too much, you admitted. How did you feel when he told you? Your mum asked. Honestly, shocked, overwhelmed. It was a lot to take on, not only about his past, but also about finding out my connection to the royalty, you said. It was a lot to take on, your mum said as she patted your knee. And what would you like to do with the information? I don't know, you said sadly. I don't want others to find out because I want to protect Dad. He's very sorry for what happened. But then that brings me to the next thing. I need this information for my assignment, but I can't just stand up the front of class and tell everyone, hey, my dad made some bad choices and now he can't go back to his place of origin. And by the way, he was royalty and was supposed to take the throne, but now he can't. And I'm royalty too, but I'm technically disowned because I'm mixed race, you said with a sigh. So what will you do about the assignment? Your mum asked. I guess I'll talk to the teachers about it and hope they'll understand, you said. But also, I mentioned the Faerie to Alex, and they got really upset at me and didn't talk to me for the rest of the shift. I guess I shouldn't speak without fully understanding what I'm talking about, you said sadly. I didn't mean to upset them. I was asking because I kind of wanted to find out a little more about them to make sense of Dad's story, But I can't tell them that because it exposes Dad. You took a deep breath in and then let out a long sigh. And then there's Denki, you added. I don't know what to do now that we both know that we like each other. I wish there was some kind of book on what the next step is. There is a lot going on, your mum said gently as she wrapped her free arm around your shoulders. What do you feel like is the most important of these speed bumps to address first? I feel like apologizing to Alex first is what I should do. It was insensitive of me to even bring it up, but I meant no harm. I guess I'll say something like, I just found out something relating to them that kind of affects me, but I don't really want to talk about it, and see if that's okay. Alex is pretty good that way. I don't think they'll push, especially if they've had bad experiences too, you added. Your mum nodded. And then next? She asked. Next, I'll talk to the teachers about the assignment and explain a little of the situation as delicately as I can, you said. Good girl, your mum said with a gentle pride. And then I guess just focus on being Denki's friend more, get to know him, like this stage is. Things will work out on their own, you said with a nod. How do you feel now? Your mum asked after taking a sip of tea. Good, you said with a relaxed smile at her. Thanks, Mum, you said before taking a sip of tea and looking up into the sky again as the last bit of purple slipped under the horizon and the stars started to shine more. You were deep in thought for a second and then suddenly looked at your mum with wide eyes. You've realised, she said after glancing across at you. Don't tell him. At this stage it would break his spirit, she warned. Mum, you whispered. He doesn't realise it. If he has, he hasn't said anything about it, your mum said, taking another sip and looking up at the sky. You and he have courage immeasurable. You just don't know your own potential. You and your mum were silent for a bit, both of you thinking about your father. As much as I don't want to say it, it takes overwhelming courage to follow through, your mum said after a while. Not anyone can follow through and kill another sentient being, she added softly. Even if his options had been stunted, he still completed the task. So the Fox Fury knew all along that what he sought he already had and mocked him, you said with a shudder. He told me the Fox Fury was laughing at him while he did it. I think he thinks it was laughing at the demise of the Tassie Fairy, but it was laughing at his stupidity. Don't tell him, your mum breathed, a tear slipping from her eye as she continued to stare up into the sky. Please promise me you'll never tell him. Let him be on this one. I won't, you promised, tears welling in your own eyes as you watched her side profile. Even though she had tears streaming down her face, she still looked so ethereal and composed. No wonder Dad couldn't be without Mum, you thought as you watched her. She's his rock and fortitude. Ooh, that hits a little harder. Chapter 33 coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.